This is Formula 1 2009. Before we jump into the video guys, down below I'm going to have timestamps, so click on the part of the video that's going to interest you the most. This is F1 2009 made for F1 2020. It's a full season mod with full career mode playability, and we're going to check it out here today. Before we do though guys, a big shout out to Kolar for giving me access to this mod ahead of time before the public release. Down below we're going to have all the links to his page and the release also down below, so go check that out and get involved. Now before we jump into a race, we're going to quickly go for a browse of the menus, show off the cars and the liveries, the teams, the drivers, all that stuff. So let's get into it. So Brawn GP off first, the champions of 2009. What can I say? Iconic livery, iconic car, iconic season. Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello, of course, with their Brawn GP race suits. We then go to Ferrari, and this was not a good year for them, but it's still, they won a race in Spa, and of course the barcode error is still present in this one. Kimi Raikkonen, of course, won that race in Spa, and Felipe Massa, who of course had that very unfortunate accident back in Hungary 2009. We then go to Red Bull, and one thing I want to note here is the colorway. I kind of hope Red Bull bring back the three-color stripe, you know, the red, the blue and the white. You can see how prominent it was back in the day in those earlier Red Bulls, and I really miss it. I think it actually adds something to the livery, so I'm still praying somehow Red Bull bring it back. Sebastian Vettel, of course, who that was his first year in Renault and was starting to really develop as a driver, and Mark Webber. We then head to McLaren Mercedes. Who would have thunk, eh? Still the same brand 13 years later, but the colorway, the chrome and the red and the Vodafone. For this one, Heikki Kovalainen and of course Lewis Hamilton driving. We then head to Renault, and this was 2009, just before the controversy, of course, that happened and the whole Crashgate scandal back in Singapore 2008. You know, we saw Renault lose the ING sponsorship as their title sponsor, but for this one, of course, early season, so Fernando Alonso driving as the main with Nelson Piquet as secondary before, of course, he got sacked after that scandal. Toro Rosso, this also a bit of a throwback, and I think a livery a lot of people miss, the old OG Toro Rosso livery. I personally do miss this one, especially the original version with the massive ball covering the entire car, but this was definitely underrated for me. And we have the Battle of the Sebastians, Sebastian Bourdais and Sebastian Buemi in 2009. We then head to Force India, and of course this was a breakout year for them, and it put them on the map. After many years of struggling as Jordan, Midland, you know, Spiker, Force India came around with a limited budget, and in 2008 they weren't that great, but in 2009, the Belgian Grand Prix, of course, Fisichella puts it on pole and gets an iconic second place podium in the race, and from that point on they managed to survive in F1 and eventually evolve into what we now know as Aston Martin. Iconic colourway, of course, represented the flags of India, and you can see Fisichella El Fisico as the main with Adrian Sutil as secondary. Next up, we go to BMW Sauber. The last year we saw BMW in Formula 1, of course, before they got replaced in 2010/11, but iconic livery, iconic design, of course, a lot of success for BMW with Williams and Sauber in F1, and of course for this one we have Robert Kubica as the main, and then secondary we have Nick Heidfeld, aka Quick Nick. Finally though, we're going to go to Toyota, which, oh boy, this could be the one we drive with today. This was of course an iconic livery, one that we all loved and in a way miss. What a project, you know, what could have been with Toyota. They really fumbled the bag, but this could have been such an awesome era for them. To be fair, they did pretty well in 2009, and of course for this one we do have the man himself, Jarno Trulli, alongside Timo Glock. Finally, Williams, who are at the bottom of the pile. What can I say? Also a breakout year for the younger driver. Nico Rosberg, of course, moved to Mercedes, and the rest is history after that, as they say. And then, of course, Kazuki Nakajima alongside, of course. So, yeah, there is a lot. Now, you may notice there is one more logo on the right. And before we get into the race, there is bonus content in this mod. If you play My Team, and of course you can make your own team, there is, besides doing your own project, 4 additional options available to you. And one of them is my own team, 97 Racing. Awesome, man, really nice touch, lovely livery, so simple, so effective, but it just works perfect. There's also 3 other options, I believe, for Arava, also Audi and also Honda, had they stayed in Formula 1. So there's a few alternate projects in the mod file for you guys to go check out. But I mean, I, of course, am biased, and I think this looks the best. The colours pop, and I actually love how good my colours and my livery look on a retro F1 car. Like, this actually is awesome.
As the drivers begin to climb into their cars down on the grid, the excitement is really building at this magnificent circuit. We're just about ready to go racing for today's Formula One Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. And joining me once again in the commentary box today is, of course, the former World Endurance Champion, Anthony Davidson.
Well, Crofty, it's the very familiar sight of Sebastian Vettel on pole today, but can he capitalise on it? He might need to show a touch more aggression than we've seen recently to hold on to his lead through the first few corners. Besides that, of course, any kind of Turn 1 incident could completely turn the race on its head. Let's keep our fingers crossed everyone can get through in one piece.
Right then, here we go. Time for a race at Spa. I'm going to try and keep the car settings default and just see how it feels. I've done a bit of practice, a bit of testing here and there, just to kind of get a feel for the mod and see how it goes, and it feels pretty decent. So we're going to get into it. Race time, pretty much in the mid-pack, and it's going to be a 5-lap race. I want to basically do a bit of a sprint and see what we can do in a short period, and hopefully try and finish as high as possible in the Force India, which we are driving as Giancarlo Fisichella at Spa. I mean, I kind of had to, you know. One of the more iconic moments of the season was seeing, you know, the Force India with Fisichella get that podium and that pole at Spa, which was really, really surprising. So we're going to get into the race and see what happens, guys. Like the video if you enjoy, subscribe for more daily F1 content and more mod content like this, and let's get to work. Right then, let's do this. Can we recreate the magic from 2009? Let's find out. Away we go. Well, start from Hamilton, off the line. We're going to have a pretty decent start of our own. We're going to try and get on the outside here, which should give us a bit of momentum and a better exit. Up to Rich, which of course we have to use in F1 2020. Racing down to Eau Rouge. Glock trying to find his way back through, but we're going to close the door on him there and not let him go through. PK ahead and actually slows down a bit here, so we're going to get a run. We're going to pull to the outside, try and box him in behind Hamilton as we race down to Les Comps. Around the outside of PK we go. Inside for the next one, we're going to run it wide and run him out of town and out of road. And that is P11, so up 2 places. Although, I'll say that, Timo Glock wants a bit of the action and goes straight through, so fair play Timo. Opportunistic move. Got to remember to try and shift late and let the rev limiter do the work. AI set to 100, by the way, as I didn't know what to expect. I'm not expecting to be super quick and on the pace, so hopefully we've got that more or less on the money. Just saw Suto have a big moment up ahead, by the way. He's shaking and weaving all over the place, so the Force India clearly not that well suited. Through Stavro, nice and tidy there. We're going to get a bit of a run here. Let's see if I can get a distant toe. Block trying to pull out and losing time, so you can see now we're going to really get some momentum on our side. Rolling momentum as we are going to get alongside Glock. Into the bus stop we go. We're going to try and get this one back and catch him by surprise like he did with us. And there we go. Back into P11. On to lap 2 then. Let's see if we can make some more progress. Hamilton once again is next. A bit like in the real thing, we seem to be pretty good on the straights, so we're going to try and use that to our advantage, although Hamilton looking to get a move on Sutil here. Pretty good pace from what was the defending champion back in 2009, of course, after winning in 2008. We're getting a distant toe, but I don't think we're close enough to close in. So we're going to have to fall in line for now. Got to try and use the lower gears, man. It feels weird, but I've got to train my brain to not shift up early. Sutil in deep, and we all kind of follow him in there. Called No Name, turn 9. Getting very close now, seems like. Our teammate is not very quick. Power down through Puon super early. Trying to keep the pressure on here. Let's see if we can get another one of them runs, maybe into the bus stop. That would be nice. Maybe even get them both. Got the rich revs already on, so hopefully we can get one big run here. Good exit there. Out of Stavlo, keeping it flat. Slowly reeling Hamilton in. We're going to get on the outside. Through Blanchon we go. And it's a lovely move. Around the outside. And now we can chase after Adrian. Try and keep the momentum going. Through the bus stop. A little bit far back there. I was hoping for a move down to turn 1. No DRS of course with these cars, even though it says DRS enabled. Sutil, big moment. Through turn 1, this is going to give us the run. Here we go. Knock it down to lean revs, just to scrub off some momentum. Otherwise we're going to catch him at the wrong time. And now we can get into rich revs. Here we go. Pulling alongside. And we're going to try and get in front. Clearly our setup is a bit better on the straight. Alonso truly side by side as well. And there we go, around the outside. And with a truly Alonso battling, we can also look to try and close in on these two and get a P7. And there we go, getting nice and close now and getting involved in this battle. Truly comes out on top. And now we're putting the pressure on here. Could we get Alonso maybe? Oh, the back end sliding away there. I tried to get the power down too early. Almost got in trouble. Oh, big run. Alonso. A little bit slow through there, has a bit of a moment. And we go through on the inside and pick up another position. Can we get Jarno? Big battle in the top 6, by the way. We'll see if maybe they start squabbling away. But right now, the best we can hope for is a P7 finish. Closing in on Jarno through here. We'll try and get the run to the Camel straight. There we go, nicely done through there. A little bit of a lock up. Oh my god, truly with a big moment out of the bus stop. And that gives us P7 in this race. Straight through we go. Alonso and Jarno are going to keep battling away, so this is now our chance to try and open up a bit of a gap. And also a bit of battling up ahead as well, so we may have a chance to get back involved here. Let's try and push on. Lap and a half to go. Track limits. Just run out of bounds there. Don't think we've got the pace. I'm trying to push here after the top 6. Managed to get down to 2.4, but they're very strong in other areas. JB out front, P1 with a 46 mid personal best. So we are a little bit off that sort of pace. So we're not going to quite recreate the magic from 2009, but we've fully pulled away from the rest of the midfield pack. That truly Alonso battle, true to size. A big old-fashioned truly train, holding everyone up, and we managed to carve through and make our way through. So yeah, we're just going to bring this one home. It's going to be P7 for us, which is still a pretty damn good result. Car feels pretty decent now and clean there, to be fair. Tyre where you can see we're putting the rears through a bit of agony compared to the fronts, but still a good experience, a fun race. Pace-wise, I don't think there's much more in it than this, so I don't know if I would have caught the P6 or above, even if it was a 25% race. Maybe I'll have hard tyres. Maybe a different experience, but JB there with a personal best on the last lap of 49.6, and we're going to be quite some way off that, but a fun race and some nice moves.
A difficult race then on one of the all-time classic circuits, but they persevered to take the win here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament.
they were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs. And that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
Well, there we go then. Race done at Belgium. JB wins it, Webber second, Raikkonen on the podium in P3. To be fair, back in 2009, only the top 8 scored points. So technically, Sutil and Alonso didn't score, and we just got in P7. That would have been 2 points for the championship in P7 back in 2009. So, yeah guys, there is your lot. A really fun race, really enjoyed that. But let's see one more thing I want to check out before we click off the video. So the last thing I want to show you guys in this video is my team with this mod. So let's get into it. So we've done the name, let's go into the primary sponsor. As you can see, we have legit sponsors in this, which is really cool to see. As you can see, lots of really cool realistic options. For this one, I'm actually going to go for a sponsor we don't see on the car so much, and that's Siemens Mobile, which of course was with McLaren, I believe. Now we have 4 engine suppliers, and to be fair, there was more, but the game is capped at 4. But you could also have Cosworth, you know, that was around at the time. But for this one, we have Toyota, Renault, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Now, for the sake of the video, I think we should go for Toyota, as that, of course, is something we don't have nowadays. Also, how sick is this? Picking a teammate, there's actual legitimate young drivers from back in 09. So Karun Chandok, Suzy Stoddart, Tonio Luzzi, Pastor Maldonado, Paul Aresta, Jaime Alguersuari, Kamui Kobayashi, and Daniel Ricciardo. So this is actually pretty sick. The level of detail here is awesome. I think for this one I'm going to choose Daniel, why not? And this would comprise the team package for my team. And here we have the full package. So team, logo, color scheme, a babyface Daniel Ricciardo with a Toyota engine in the back of the car, and my own custom livery. And here we are then, in the main menu, in the My Team hub. F1 2020, the first F1 game to feature a My Team mode, and this is where my channel really blew up. And this time we have a 2009 car in it. As you can see, even in the facilities, the car is present. I can't stop looking how good that car looks with this car shape, the livery, everything, the sponsors. It just looks beautiful. I just wanted to quickly show you a few more things. So the driver market in full, you can see every single driver with the customary Bridgestone cap as well, and all the race suits, it's all there. Really awesome to see from top to bottom. And also, if we look at the reserve drivers, actually, the free agents, you've got Bruno Senna there, Guido van der Garde, so drivers that weren't necessarily options for us. Romain Grosjean, Sergio Perez, of course, a very young Perez, a very young Bottas as well. So there's some really cool options here further down, and yeah, big fan of the depth of this mod. I mean, look at this, even the likes of Hulkenberg available in this, which is actually mental. Also, a quick word of note, Codemasters, EA, please bring this back, please. Fantastic. Guys, cheers for watching. Check the links down below. Honestly, support the mod. It's really awesome. Like the video, subscribe for more daily F1 content, guys. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy this sort of retro throwback on F1 2020 with the 2009 mod in place. As always, a big shout out to the members of my channel for supporting all the content. Check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and that's goodbye from me.